position. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Peterson is absent. Mr. St. Marie.
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
Mr. Milano.
Here.
Mr. Petrella. Not here. Dr. Madonna.
Here.
And Chairman Sy.
Here. I declare a quorum present. Okay, the chairman. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 17, 2015. Need a motion and a second. I'll make that a motion. Need a second.
Second.
There's been a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I declare a quorum present. We have 2 public hearings scheduled tonight. All testimony will be given under oath. At the hearing, there will be an opportunity for the public to offer testimony and to comment. Following the public hearing, in this case, our deliberations will be open to the public in the sense that all are invited to listen and to watch. The public, however, may not speak during our deliberations. The Unified Development Ordinance requires a vote by a majority of the members of the Community Development Commission for those matters that will be referred to the City Council for approval and for those matters on which the Community Development Commission will make the final decision. We ask the applicants here tonight to provide a general description of their proposals and then give specific evidence to demonstrate that the proposal meets the standards of the Unified Development Ordinance for the relief requested. The burden is on the applicant to prove the case. With respect to others who wish to speak, you may give an opinion or present specific evidence as why you believe the applicant meets or fails to meet the standards for the relief requested. Finally, we'll strictly adhere to the schedule prepared for tonight's meeting. In case of an applicant or in an event you or your attorney have filed an appearance as an objector, you will be afforded sufficient time within which to present your evidence. Whether you are a member of the public wishing to make a statement for the record or a witness testifying on behalf of an applicant or objector, you will be placed under oath and then begin by stating your name and address. If you are not presenting evidence on behalf of an applicant or objector, your remarks will be taken after the applicant and all those who have filed an appearance as an objector have presented all their evidence. It will be subject to question by the Community Development Commission and the applicant or objector to allow as many people as possible to be heard. If you're not an applicant or objector, we would request that your remarks be limited to 5 minutes. If additional time is needed, the hearing will be continued to the next available hearing date. I will now call this meeting before us. I will now call this matter before us this evening. The first hearing is case number 15-B7 in regards to proposed variation for the property located at 236 Oakwood Drive. I declare, will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Sy.
Yes.
Mr. Madonna. Mr. Milano.
Here.
Mr. Petrella. Mr. Petrella is absent, sorry. Mr. St. Marie.
Yes.
And Mr. Woods.
Here.
I declare a quorum present. Kelly, please provide a summary of the request and indicate when the notice of the hearing was published and whether you have your certificate of publication from the newspaper.
Kelly, would you raise your right hand and state your name?
Kelly Christie.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The notice was published in the Daily Herald on September 4th for the variation case number 15-V7, which is a separation distance variation request at 236 Oakwood. In terms of location, the property is located on the west side of Oakwood Drive, approximately 800 feet south of Irving Park Road. The property is zoned R2, which is large lot, single-family zoning district, which is consistent with the adjacent properties surrounding it. In terms of the floodplain, the property has about 40% of its land area covered by an existing floodplain. This map here shows the existing and also the preliminary flood insurance rate maps that are being conducted by DuPage County, which shows that there's no proposed change to those floodplain limits. And the preliminary maps are expected to be adopted here within the next year. So those are not regulatory, but what you see here in the blue is actually the current regulatory floodplain, and the pink is the floodway. The green is non-regulatory, and some people refer to it as the 500-year floodplain, but it's not regulated too. So just for context for what's on the screen here. In terms of the subject property, the UDO prohibits construction of an accessory structure within the floodplain. As you can see in the area marked in blue, a large portion of the lot is covered in floodplain. Currently, the property has no detached structures. The petitioner is proposing, here is the existing driveway, although there are no detached structures currently. And then the area in orange shows the proposed two-car garage that the petitioner is requesting to build. In order to access that garage, he will then provide an extension of his existing driveway to gain access. The proposed garage will meet the setback from the property line, which is required to be 5 feet. He will also meet lot coverage and the height maximum. The petitioner is requesting a variation from the separation distance requirement, where we require 10 feet. He is asking for approximately 5.5 feet. This is an elevation of his proposed garage. As I noted, it is a typical two-car garage. The maximum height, although he's proposing 13 feet, he could go up to 17 feet per the UDO. In terms of staff's recommendation, staff has found that the location and the size of the floodplain creates a hardship for this particular property owner. There are very few areas on his site where he can locate a detached garage. And then based on his proposed siting, he actually meets all of the other zoning regulations, and so this will have a minimal impact on any adjacent property owner, because he is requesting really from the separation distance, where he would primarily be the only one affected by this reduction in the setback for the separation distance. That, in terms of staff's recommendation for forwarding a positive recommendation, staff has found all of the standards for variation have been met as depicted in staff's memo. And there is actually a recommended motion in staff's memo for your consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Well, I have one. Being that the structure is going to be located closer to the house, has staff informed the petitioner that there's going to be added expense of drywalling the garage and everything? Meet our code.
Well, in terms of the building code requirements,
Yeah.
I did check on that. And if the structure were to be 3 feet or closer to the principal structure, then there would be fireproofing requirements. But there is not currently fireproofing requirements for the proposed separation distance. So we did not include that as a condition of approval because it meets the building code requirements.
Okay. Is there any other questions from the panel? Dr. Madonna?
Yeah, I do. Just a couple. It looks like you're talking about a variation between the principal building and, looks the deck area or the garage is 5.67, but on the other side, where the garage is going to end in the lot line, how much space is there?
There's 5-foot setback.
Isn't it supposed to be higher than that?
No, sir, for accessory structures, 5 feet is the setback required.
Thought it was 10% of whatever the lot size was.
For accessory structures, it's a flat 5 foot.
Okay. So he would meet that requirement.
That is correct.
And you said he could go up to 17 feet?
In height, correct, and still meet the zoning regulations.
Okay, then mine shows 15 feet was the maximum height under. Now, don't even bother, it's not important enough, because I know you said he's only at 13 feet.
Correct.
Okay. And then it's supposed to be a continuous, hard, dust-free surface, so he's going to add blacktop to that portion that you're showing in brown?
That is correct.
Okay. That's all I have, thank you.
Is the petitioner present? You want to go up to the podium, and is there anything else you want to add? You don't have to be sworn in. State-
Would you raise your right hand, state your name and address, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
We're just looking to build a garage on our lot. Previously, the owner on our lot owned both lots. So there was an empty lot down here. And when he owned both lots, he placed the garage on that other lot. So there was never a garage on our lot. So pretty much is all we're looking for is to have coverage in the winter, you know, from the snow and the rain. And obviously in the summer, it's nice to have a cool car to get into. So we were just looking for just a normal two-car garage for us to enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any questions from the board? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to concur with staff's recommendation
We have to close the
regarding
public hearing first.
Pardon?
Mr. Chairman, I think we have to close the public hearing first.
No, wait a minute. No,
Okay,
to
go
concur
ahead.
with
Okay.
the standards, the recommendation on the standards. Is that what you're looking for, Kelly?
Well, Chairman, if you wanted, if the discussion with the public hearing is closed, then anyone could make a motion. And my suggested motion was simply to concur with staff's findings of fact, but you could certainly adopt your own if you so
No,
chose.
that's fine. Okay. If there are no other questions, I'll make a motion to close this public hearing.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Sy?
Yes.
Dr. Madonna?
Yes.
Mr. Milano?
Yes.
Mr. St. Marie? And Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Is there any other comments? The only comment I had that we will concur with staff's recommendations on the stand. That'll be a roll call vote on that one.
Well, who's going to make the,
I'm going to make that motion.
You made that motion?
Yeah.
I'll
to
second.
concur with staff's recommendation?
And approve the requested variance.
Okay.
Good question.
Recommend approval?
And approve, make a motion to recommend.
Recommend the city council.
Make a motion to recommend that the variation be approved as presented.
So I second that.
Roll call.
Okay. Mr. Sy?
Yes.
Dr. Madonna?
Yes.
Mr. Milano?
Yes.
Mr. St. Marie?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Okay, the motion is carried. The public hearing on case number 15-7 is closed. Is there any other discussion on this case?
Wait.
Okay, I'll make a motion to recommend approval of a variation request for case number 15-B7.
Okay, I think we already,
That was
Okay,
me.
we.
Okay, okay. Okay, we're all done then.
We're gonna.
Okay.
We beat this horse.
On the next case, staff, which is case number 15B8, on staff's recommendation, is requesting a continuance of this request in order to obtain additional information. I will now entertain a motion to continue case number 15-B8 to October 19, 2015. I'll make that the motion.
I can just raise one question.
Sure.
The public hearing has not been open.
No.
So we're just going to continue.
Well,
Okay, continue the case for public hearing then.
right, so technically we need to open and then continue, if I'm not mistaken.
That's, I think, what I would do. I would open the public hearing.
yes.
And then continue.
the
Correct.
public hearing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to have a roll call on that.
Yeah.
Okay, Marilyn, we have a roll call for case number
15V8.
15B8. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Sy.
Here.
Dr. Madonna.
Here.
Mr. Milano.
Here.
Mr. St. Marie.
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here. I declare our quorum present. Now, how do you want to word it?
If
Oh,
Kelly wants to
okay,
state
Kelly.
on the record the reasons for continuance, then either one should be.
Well, she's already sworn in, so.
I would swear in on this. Well, you're just going to make, you're not going to be testifying.
No.
You're just going to make a motion.
Correct. So in this case, staff is recommending a continuance so that we can obtain additional information to ensure that the application that comes before you is a complete application for you to make your decision.
Right, so then you entertain a
Yeah.
motion to continue to the
Oc-
next.
October 19th is the next CDC meeting.
Okay, so then you just entertain, see, I'd say that you just entertain a motion from any of the board to continue to October 19th.
Okay, I'll make a motion to continue case number 15B8 until October 19, 2015. Need a second
Second, and then the question.
question?
Yeah, assuming you will have the papers done, what if they are not done by October 19th? Should we not maybe make a motion to postpone this hearing to a date to be announced later, when all the materials are available?
Because we have published already,
Okay.
then typically, and perhaps the attorney can
Right.
assist me in this one, but typically you continue to a date certain. And in the event that there is insufficient information, at that point, we have the ability to continue
Recontinue it.
again. Otherwise, we can talk about potentially just reposting for a date certain if, in fact, they do not have the information available at that point.
And that would be true, because if we just simply continue it to, continue it generally and not to a date certain, then technically somebody could claim that they did not get notice of the hearing, and we might then have a due process or
Okay,
a problem with it. So it's better to continue to date certain. As Kelly said, if for some reason the information is not ready at that time, then she can always make another request to the board for continue to another date certain.
got it. Okay. And your motion was to continue to October 19th, Mr.
Right.
Chairman? Good. Second still stands?
For further hearing.
And do you want a roll call?
Yeah, roll call.
Okay. Mr. Sy.
Yes.
Dr. Madonna.
Yes.
Mr. Milano.
Yes.
Mr. St. Marie.
Yes.
And Mr. Wood.
No.
Motion carried.
Maybe skip it, just, Is there any other business? What about from staff? Do you have anything to report?
Staff liaison report.
I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to sort of change up a little bit, kind of how we operate, and I'm hoping that it's going to offer some clarity as we go through in terms of trying to allow the petitioner or perhaps ease the burden on the petitioner. So I will hopefully continue this in terms of a brief presentation, which is a summary of the staff report, and allow those at home to follow along. I will also continue to, in the staff memo, have staff's analysis of the findings of fact. And so you then have the opportunity to concur with those, adopt your own, or concur with the petitioner where they differ. So, and then I will continue to offer a recommended motion for your consideration. But again, you have the option of coming up with your own motion as you see fit. So thank you for allowing me to do that, and hopefully these modifications will assist in the process. But certainly if there's any other additional changes that you'd like to see, please let me know, and I'm happy to look into those. I do know that last meeting there was an inquiry about giving some sort of a development report, which I hope to be able to get into doing as I learn more about what is going on in the community. I understand that it's helpful to know what has gone through CDC and figure out where they are in the process now. So I hope to do that for our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. There being no further business, I now entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.